We're talking 2K strategy, guys. This is one of my favorite strategies for executing a 2K. I want to walk you through it so you guys can get comfortable for your next 2K time trial. So, we know what our sprint start is. I've laid it out for you. When the 2K starts, we are fresh. We should be hot, a little bit sweaty, but we're not fatigued, right? If we're truly running a 2K time trial. Now, we're going to run our sprint start out of the gates. Half, half, three-quarter, full, full. That is our 5-stroke starting sequence. And then we'll settle into 10 full slide strokes. Now, all of your sprint start, as you know, is with cut layback, meaning you remove the hip swing from the stroke. You still use legs and you still use your arms. If you don't know sprint start, go back, review the sprint start video. After we get out of the sprint start, that should run us to maybe 150 meters, give or take 30 on either end, depending on how strong you are. Next, what we are going to do, because of our sprint start, we have set our average artificially below our goal pace. What that means is you get to work and play with the pace now. So you will then settle at your body. So from 150 meters to the 500 meter mark, you're actually going to settle at 2 seconds slower or above your goal pace. So if a 2-minute pace is my goal, I'm going to run it at 2:02 for 150 to 500 meters. Now, at the 500 meter mark, I'm going to take a power 20. That is still the normal mechanics of your regular stroke. We don't remove the hip swing, we don't change anything mechanically, but what we do focus on is increasing the pressure for 20 strokes. During that time, I'm going to go to my goal pace minus 2 seconds. So again, back to my 2-minute goal, I'm going to go to a 158 on my split for 20 strokes. That should take me about 200 meters into that 500 meter piece. After I get done with that, I'm going to alternate back and forth. So then I will go back to my body pace for 300 meters and then back to that power 20 for 200 meters. I'm going to alternate back and forth. What that does is breaks the 2K into this nice manageable piece. Instead of it being 2,000 meters on this monstrous piece that I have to face, instead I get to think about it as 20 and 30 stroke pieces broken down. I'm going to keep alternating at every 500 meter mark, so the 500, the 1,000, and the 1,500. I will take a power 20 at my goal pace minus 2 seconds. As soon as it's done, I have to be very strategic and make sure that my goal pace goes back to 2 seconds above. When I hit my final 300 meters, I'm going to sprint like crazy. Now, what does a sprint at the end of a piece look like? It means that I'm going to take my stroke rate up by 2 beats with 300 meters left, and I'm going to hold that for 100 meters. When I get to my next 100 meters, so 200 left in your 2K piece, I'm going to take it up 2 more beats. When I hit the final 100 meters, I'm going to take the stroke rate as high as possible, and I will finally remove my layback again from the stroke, just as I did during the sprint start at the beginning. This makes your 2K very manageable, both mentally and physically. It breaks it up, and it gives you an opportunity to mess around and vary it instead of just grinding through 2,000 meters. It's one of the worst feelings in the world, but this strategy does a really nice job of breaking it up for you. Try it out on your next 2K, or sample a 2K just to see how it feels so that you can then use it or decide to discard it for your next actual test.